Come in.
Tyler.
There's two.
Tyler. Don't. Bless you, by the way.
That works.
Tyler, speak.
Yo.
Finally. What were you doing?
On toilet. Having a shit.
Don't swear, I'm streaming.
Okay. Are you on Fortnite?
No, I'm streaming
Come on,
Ark.
Lewis. Come on, Lewis.
You should get Ark. I want.
Is it free?
No.
I get it.
Hi Lulu. Yep, long time no talk.
Come on, Lewis.
I'll take that. Eye colour.
90 subs.
Nice. Go subscribe to. By the way, it's Tyler on YouTube. I want a big bear, a big brain. Upper face size, big. Actually, tiny head but big brain.
Don't you know? Pump it up.
I just thought I'd play this. I got a big brain here. Oh, look at that big brain. Actually, no, I like the complete big head better. Big brain.
Be gone.
Oh, big brain.
Plants vs Zombies is now free on.
Ew.
I know.
Never mind the fact that it's free, just
I'm
ew.
trying to fight a one man. I'm currently being a one-man army. Lewis, well,
Oh.
we can do this.
Oh. Oh, this game actually looks alright.
Big brain. Alright, next size. I have that tiny, skinny queen. I have everything besides my big muscles.
Let's play Casino Royale.
Ew. Tiny boy.
Boy,
Oh,
this
damn
is-
it.
Actually, I love a tiny boy with big hands.
I tried helping you.
Actually, I have a
Yeah, there's a couple.
big up arms. Yeah, too big.
Lewis.
Lance will have skeleton long arms. Tiny hands. Upper arm
Using a shotgun at that
will
rate.
have a
Are you okay?
skinny queen. And lower arm will have it big. Actually,
tried
you know,
helping you,
I
but
kind
then
of
I
like.
just got shot in the head.
The fact that I'm.
Right, I'm gonna
Why
put
did
you
he
on
leave?
something else. Oh, okay. Go back here. Don't you have spare in the backpack, Lewis? Don't you have spare in inventory? No, you can literally, you can buy armor
This is
and
because
have it
the
in
later
backpack.
you decide to give birth, the
In-
higher your chances to get twins.
Why?
And people today tend to create families later than ever before.
Big
There are
feet.
more living things on and inside your body than there are people on Earth. And not just twice or 3 times so. The numbers are simply mind-blowing. Speaking of which, bacteria make up from 2 to 9 pounds of your body weight. It's hard to imagine how many of them
Right,
there are
please,
in your
wrong
body.
sound.
If you have a kid, be prepared for question bombardment. An average 4-year-old asks something over 400 times per day. There's a chili pepper you can't eat if you want to stay alive. It's never used
Yeah, I'm
in
falling
cooking.
back.
It was designed as a painkiller.
I'm on red
Scientists
health.
believe
Let me just
Leonardo da Vinci could
eat
write
some
with one
snacks.
hand and draw
I'm gonna play
pictures
this game
with
so
the
I won't
other
let
at
go.
the same time. Talk about
I'm cold.
multitasking. Your outer skin gets totally replaced each month. Overall, an
I got the
average human
helicopter.
sheds about 40 pounds of skin throughout their life.
Troubleton.
There's a room in Microsoft's headquarters in Washington that holds a world record for being the quietest room
Don't
in the
snipe
world.
the driver. Lewis.
Standing inside it, you can hear your heart beating. In August 2010,
Damn it,
Beijing
Lewis.
witnessed the longest traffic jam ever. It lasted 10 days and was 62 miles long. The metric system is the most widely accepted system of measurement in the world. Only 3 countries still use the imperial units: Liberia, Myanmar, and the U.S.
That's me, Lewis.
John D. Rockefeller still holds the record as the richest man in the world. His net worth, adjusted for inflation, is 10 times more than that of Bill Gates.
Undeniable, Lewis.
Starfish can not only regenerate their lost limbs, but even a limb can regenerate the whole starfish. Well, that's cool. Thanks to the
I haven't played this game in so long. What's inventory?
1987, scientists believe the Earth's
I've already
ozone
lost,
layer
like,
will
most of my
fully
Oh,
restore
that's just
itself
blindness.
Yahoo! In 2011, Forbes decided to estimate the net worth of Scrooge McDuck. They came to a
Right, I have a
conclusion
heavy
that it
revolver,
was
so I have any ammo for it.
$44.1 billion.
Circle.
Together,
Oh.
all ants in the world will weigh as much as the whole human population of the planet, and then some. Chicken are more than twice as numerous as
Lewis, stop
humans.
doing my food.
In 2009, their overall number in the world was estimated to be
There's so many.
18.6 billion. Purple is the least popular color when it comes to national flags. There are just 2 countries in the world that use it in theirs: Dominica and Nicaragua.
Whoa.
If you've seen snow in your lifetime, consider yourself lucky. 2/3 of people on the planet can't say the same thing about themselves. Domestic chicken is the closest relative of dinosaurs. Yes, including the mighty T-Rex. Leaves on trees turn yellow and red come fall because they don't have enough warmth and sunlight to produce the green pigment chlorophyll. Cold nights and bright sunny days mean more vibrant colors.
How do I put this in?
Bart Simpson should be older now than his
How do I
mother was
put this
at the
here?
beginning of the show.
I don't know
That
this.
is, if the yellow family aged normally.
I need help.
There's a $20 coin made in 1933 that was sold 70 years later for more than $7 billion. Also, it was never actually used as currency.
It shows a mini
Don't
gun
ever
symbol.
suppress a
Ah.
sneeze if you don't absolutely
Lewis,
have
look
to.
what I have.
The pressure can result in a rupture of a blood vessel in your head or neck, which can lead to injury. There's a town in Honduras where every year, at around the same time of the year, it rains fish. Scientists don't have an explanation for this phenomenon yet. Although there are 24 hours in a day, there are more than 24 time zones on the globe. Some of them are just 45 or even 30 minutes apart from their closest neighbors. Jeep is actually an abbreviation. Originally,
Yeah, I didn't know how quick minigun ammo disappears.
The first Native
Yeah, I
American
didn't know how
Creek
quick.
pilgrims, whose name was Samoset, could speak English even before he met them. Sweden is the largest island country in the world. It has over
My character decided to have a stroke and not go to the correct cover.
1,000 of which are inhabited. A jellyfish melts in the sun because it's 95% water. Talk about cucumbers. In 2012, twin girls Amy and Katie were born 87 days apart. They're now in the Guinness World Records for the longest gap between the birth of twins. All pandas in the World Zoo belong to China. If you see a giant panda at a zoo, you can be sure it's just a guest there.
Lewis.
If you were to watch every video on YouTube, you'd have to spend 1,000 years on that. And then about 1,000 times more because of all the new videos that would appear by then. A mouse's bones are so flexible, it can fit into a ballpoint pen-size hole. If you cage one, make sure the grid is small enough.
James, at least you got to
The
see
most popular
humans
language in the
being
world is
aliens.
not English, and by far. The title belongs to Mandarin Chinese, with over 1 billion speakers around the globe. The record for the longest-lasting hiccups belongs to a man named Charles Osborne.
Ah, yeah.
He had this condition for 69 years straight. Human fingers are extremely sensitive as an evolutionary perk. If your fingertips were the size of Earth, you'd feel the difference between a one-story house and a car. China is home to the most bicycles in the world. However, the most bike-friendly city is Copenhagen.
Let's have
in Denmark.
races, but not like
A
checkpoint
giraffe's
races.
tongue is so long, the animal can clean its own ears with it, which it does every so often. I am jealous.
Oh, I know a good race, and Lewis and I've already tried
Hummingbird's
it.
heartbeat at an average rate of 1,200 beats per minute. That's
I think
20
Lewis knows
beats
what I'm
per
on about,
second.
don't you, Lewis?
Only about 86% of
That
the
one
world's
race that
adult
you got mad
population
at,
can read,
you got
and is
Dina.
considered a huge leap
Guaranteed
forward
Dina.
compared to half a century ago. Lobsters, due to their
Are you
cold-blooded
Johnny,
nature,
Lewis?
can come back to life after being frozen and thawed
Alright,
again.
you wanna do it
And
then?
they are delicious. Just saying. Prairie dogs kiss each other to say hi. Aww. Facebook can qualify as a country of its own. Today, there are
So
over
it's one
2
checkpoint
billion
and
people
you just-
using it, which
what,
is more
two
than the
checkpoint
population
race?
of the U.S., China, and Brazil combined.
Let's do the
Africa
that
is a
race.
How do you cook food? I can't
By
remember.
2050, it's estimated to grow to 2.3
You
billion
need to
people living
finish
there.
it.
During
Need
flight
to,
in an airplane,
Yeah, there,
our sense
okay.
of smell and taste
Oh.
is 20 to 50% lower than usual. That's why the food on board doesn't seem delicious. Japan is home to the oldest hotel in the world. It's been welcoming guests since 705 CE. French was the official language of England for about 450 years. In 1066, William the Conqueror, who was of the French origin, brought the language to the country. Some of the first graffiti of the
Where are you
similar
then?
kind we have today appeared in Pompeii. They date back almost 2,000 years. The full name of Oz, from The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, was actually Oscar
I got
Zoroaster
15
Friedrich
wrong.
Isaac Norman Henkel Emmanuel Ambrose Diggs. Yeah, I
Sorry,
can see
my
why
bad.
he shortened it to Oz. Less keystrokes. Cows are highly social creatures, and they even have best buddies they spend most of their time together with. They become upset if they get separated, too. In case you didn't notice, goats have rectangular pupils, and they're the only animals with such an eye structure. There's archaeological evidence of an extinct penguin species that was about 6 feet tall. Imagine a penguin looking at you straight in the eye. Hey, nice ducks. You too, pal. It rains diamonds on Jupiter and Saturn. This happens because methane turns into carbon, which then hardens to become graphite and eventually diamond. High heels were originally menswear. In ancient Egypt, butchers wore them to avoid blood on the floor. Dogs don't see the world in shades of gray. In fact, they can see colors, just fewer of them than people. The name of the man who invented cotton candy was William Morrison. He was a dentist. There's a thunderstorm in Venezuela that occurs every year and lasts for about 140 to 160 nights. It even has a name, Catatumbo. Michelangelo couldn't stand painting the Sistine Chapel ceiling so much that he even wrote a poem about it. Ever got chills from listening to your favorite track? It's because your brain reacts to it by releasing dopamine, the happiness hormone. Figures. You
Looks like we're
probably
gonna
know
stream
that
again,
tomatoes
Lewis, I'm
are
guessing?
technically berries, right? Well, bananas, peppers, and eggplants are too. John Cage, an avant-garde composer, wrote the longest musical piece in history. It's supposed to be played as slowly as possible, and it's estimated to take 639 years to play to the end.
What we're doing?
Black belt in martial arts, such as karate, translates from Japanese as first step. That's because achieving the black belt is just literally the
If not,
first
I'll just
stage of
have
mastering
the
the art, with
race
much more to
ready.
come yet. Charlie Chaplin once entered a Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest and lost it. The same happened with Dolly Parton almost 100 years later in 2012.
Yeah, there it is.
Mark
Oh,
Zuckerberg
it's a
is
mega
red
round.
and green colorblind. That's why he designed Facebook in shades of blue.
I'm sure
That's
Lewis
the
knows
color
what I'm
he
on
can see
about,
best.
don't you, Lewis?
Horseshoe crabs have a total of 10 eyes, 2 of which are located right on its hard shell. Well, what did you expect from a creature that's called a living fossil?
Imagine. breathing?
This is life. You don't always get another shot.
What is breathing? I photosynthesize. I only photosynthesize.
Hey, Brightsider, you know what's impossible? To hum with your nose pinched closed. Seriously, try it. I'll wait. See, I got a lot more fascinating facts where that came from. In case you're wondering, it came from my fortune cookie here. Anyway, here we go.
I'm just gonna guess Rick
When
and
sea
Morty.
otters sense that they're in danger, they show their babies to the predators that make them feel mercy. Gee, thanks, Mom. A googol is a number followed by 100 zeros. I dare you to write that down, counting the zeros one by one. A computer term, there's a bug in the system, emerged in 1946 when an actual moth got trapped inside a relay calculator at Harvard. Squirrels accidentally plant millions of trees every year because they forget where they bury their acorn. Oh, that's nuts. A rainbow that happens at night is called a, wait for it, moonbow. They're mostly white and very rare. The first microwave was invented by Percy Spencer in 1945. The engineer received only $2 for his discovery. That's equivalent to $30 today. A giraffe's neck can reach up to 5. The engineer is called a, wait for it, moonbow. They're mostly white and very rare. The first microwave was invented by Percy Spencer in 1945. The engineer received only $2 for his discovery. That's equivalent to $30 today. A giraffe's neck can reach up to 6 feet in length, yet it contains the same number of bones as the human neck. In 2009, a team of scientists went on an expedition to Loch Ness Lake to locate the famous monster. To their surprise, they found more than 100,000 golf balls instead. Tim Storms holds the Guinness World Record for the deepest voice. He reached notes that were so low only elephants could hear. How many words for snow do you know? The Scottish have 421 words for the cold, fluffy stuff. Some of them are feefle, spitters, and snobhouther. Now I want to watch the Scottish TV weatherman. I'll bet that's entertaining. The skin of a polar bear is actually black, but because its fur is clear, that's right, it ain't white, and the strands are hollow, they scatter light. This creates the illusion that it's white, like feefle.
Because it's
just like our fingers, our tongue has its
burn.
own unique print. We also have around 10,000 taste buds, and each of them has an average lifespan of 10 days. I'm tasting a pattern here. In the English language, if you spelled out all the numbers, you'd have to count up to 1,000 before you came across the letter A. Try it. In 1815, Indonesia's Mount Tambora had the biggest volcanic eruption in human history. It lasted 2 weeks. It created an ash layer in our planet's atmosphere, and 1816 became the year without a summer. A day wasn't always 24 hours.
What is happening?
4.5 billion years ago, it was only 4 hours. That was because the moon was closer to the Earth. 3.5 billion years ago, a day lasted 12 hours. And by the time we humans appeared, a day was roughly 24 hours long. The hashtag symbol isn't actually called a hashtag. The real term for it is an octothorpe. Octo means 8, and it refers to the points of the symbol. In 2015, the Oxford Dictionary announced that the word of the year was the smiling emoji with tears of joy. Hey, which is your most often used emoji? Show me down in the comments. Do you know what else is impossible? To walk on Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, or Uranus. These gas planets don't have a solid surface. On Venus, though, you'll be swimming in lava. Lucky you. When scientists analyzed fossils, they found that dinosaurs likely made sounds similar to pigeons or the mumbles of an ostrich. Oh yeah, and the mighty T-Rex probably had feathers. Fortune cookies were actually invented in the U.S. in the early 1900s. When they were first imported to China in 1992, They didn't do well because the people of the country found them too American. Canadian researchers found out that Einstein's brain was 15% wider than average, but he never learned to drive a car. I'm guessing he was busy with the, theory of relativity. Speaking of geniuses, when we learn something new, our brain changes its structure. We form new connections between neurons that help us link information faster. There's a 5,000-year-old Egyptian necklace that's made from a meteorite. When scientists analyzed it, they found that the necklace contained the same metals as a space rock. In the 18th century, sugar was so expensive that only rich people could afford it. And when someone had a black decayed tooth, they were considered
Lewis,
the
why'd you
creme
kill
de
me?
la creme, or a big deal.
I wasn't, I
Now
shot
times
a
have changed.
flare.
Sonic the Hedgehog was put in the Guinness Book of Records for being the fastest video game character of all time. After all, he runs faster than the speed of light.
Boy.
Our noses can detect more than 1 trillion smells. Sounds impressive, but a dog sniffer can detect 10,000 times more than that. Well, humans can smell if there's a teaspoon of sugar in their coffee. A dog can smell a teaspoon of sugar in 1 million gallons of water. Goats were the first to discover coffee's energizing effects. They started feeding on coffee beans and got hyperactive for the rest of the day. The goat
I'm not
owner
gonna kill you,
noticed
though.
this and spread the word. The average person will grow almost
Whoa, don't be
600
paying for it.
miles of
Yeah, you're
air
paying
over
for
a
it.
lifetime. That's twice as long as the atmosphere is thick. 2 billion pencils are manufactured every year in the U.S. alone. If you laid them all on the ground end to end, they'd circle the Earth's
I
equator
definitely didn't
9
kill you
times.
tires.
And each of those pencils can write 45,000 words and draw a line that's over 30 miles long.
Yeah.
The difference between mass and weight is that your mass is always the same, but your weight changes depending on your location. So, if you weigh 100 pounds on Earth, you'd only be 38 pounds on Mars. Have you ever thrown an apple in a river and seen it float? That's because it's 23% air. In the 1800s, cowboys used to wear their watches on chains. To keep them protected, a brand introduced the tiny little pockets we have on our jeans today. Peanuts aren't
Hey,
nuts.
Jimmy
They
Neutron.
belong to the botanical family of Fabaceae, which are legumes. Thanks to the invention of 3D printing, NASA can mail tools to the astronauts in the International Space Station. Now, we just need a pizza teleporter. Hey, we could be close. Physicists achieved teleportation in the quantum world. They managed to transfer quantum characteristics of one atom to another at a different location. Minnie Mouse's full name was supposedly Minerva, and Mickey was going to be named Mortimer. But that was later changed, and Mortimer became Mickey's rival. And have you ever noticed how Mickey, Minnie, and the whole gang always wear gloves? There's a reason for that. It helped animators save time while still making the characters stand out. It also made the animal creatures appear more human, hence the 4 human-like fingers. It can take a sloth up to a month to digest a single leaf. Figures. The perfect SAT score in the U.S. is 1,600 points. Bill Gates scored 1,590, and Mark Zuckerberg got somewhere between 1,590 and 1,600. The University of like fingers. It can take a sloth up to a month to digest a single leaf. Figures. The perfect SAT score in the U.S. is 1,600 points. Bill Gates scored 1,590, and Mark Zuckerberg got somewhere between 1,590 and 1,600. The University of Oxford is older than the Aztec Empire. The university started as a learning hub in 1096 and became an educational institution in 1249. The Aztec Empire was founded in 1428. Antares is a star that's 550 light years away from Earth. It's 15 times larger